There's no way you'd beat Teddy Roosevelt in a fight.
What the Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And I forgot that there's no heat in the studio.
Woo!
And I did not wear layers.
You know, let me tell you about that.
Dee about it.
So last you heard, we were talking about our electricity struggles. You might be surprised to hear that we are having yet another struggle. We called the gas company to get the thing changed over because we moved into a new place. And they said, "Oh, where's your meter?" And we were like, "Don't you guys know? Like you're the gas company. You don't know where the gas meters are? You've done this before."
Sure.
And they were like, "No, you have to tell us." And we were like, "Well, no, we don't know where the gas meter is." So
this is like when the IRS is like, guess how much money you owe us.
Exactly. So naturally, what do? You call your landlord.
Sure.
And you're like, "Hey, bud, where's that gas meter?" And he says, "I don't know." What do you mean you don't know?
Then who would?
So no one knows is the problem.
If not you, who?
So instead, I go to our neighbor who's been here for 186 years.
Yeah.
And thriving. He'd win a fight with me, and I swear he must be 200. Lovely.
Theodore Roosevelt. Maybe you've heard of him.
So I go over there.
You couldn't win a fight with Teddy Roosevelt.
You think?
There's no way you'd beat Teddy Roosevelt in a fight.
What the fuck makes you think Teddy Roosevelt could take me in a fight, Anthony?
Neither one of us, nobody here could beat Teddy Roosevelt in a fight.
Do you have a crush on Teddy Roosevelt?
No, he was just a fighter. That's a history fact. Ba-dum-bum.
Anyways, seriously, your landlord sounds pretty shit. Hey, it turns out all of them are. It turns out capitalism overall not conducive. But I go to the next door neighbor. What is it, Anthony? What are you doing?
They're saying my mic isn't working.
What?
I don't know.
You're all plugged in?
Yeah, I'm plugged in.
You gonna go check the things?
Sure.
Here, wait. Do a check. I'll talk. Talk.
Okay, I'm talking. I'm talking into a microphone.
That's for sure working. You just gotta bump it a little.
Seems like
it's probably just a little quiet.
Probably just a little bump.
Go give it a bump.
Probably just a bump.
Go give it a bump.
Bump.
Seems like it's fine for me.
Okay.
His mic seems to be working. It's fine. His mic worked. Okay. All right then. No, don't false alarm at us. So anyways, I talked to the neighbor next door, and there's a strong language barrier.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, you gotta call the gas company."
Teddy only speaks through actions.
And he's like, "Yeah, you gotta call the gas company." And I was like, "Oh, no. Like, we did call the gas company." And he's like, "Yeah, you need heat." And I'm like, "No, yeah, we do. I agree." And he was like, "Better call the gas company." And I'm like, I did. It's okay. So what I'm saying is, there is no solution.
But at least we have the National Parks program now.
Cheers to that.
Thank you, Teddy Roosevelt.
Anyways, hello and good morning. There's news.
Okay.
The first news is, look how pretty our lighting is.
Hey, you might have noticed.
We got better looking since Monday.
Eagle-eyed viewers will probably notice that we're not just using 2 flashlights on sticks anymore. Eagle-eyed. You'd have to really be able to, you know what I mean? We're getting there every day. Every day we're getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one would think that you might be able to build a set and have it be done. One would be wrong about that.
Yeah. One would be wrong.
We'll cover those cables and then it's over for these bitches.
Yeah.
It's me, we're bitches.
I think we just put a little paper over it.
Oh, I have some of that.
Hey, I'll tell you this, Saige.
Yes?
I'm on that Marvel Snap.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on that Marvel Snap and that Pizza Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing about being on the harsh daily regimen of Marvel Snap and Pizza Tower.
Uh-huh.
And conditioning yourself, mind and body that way. is I am exhausted from all of the Marble Snap and Pizza Tower.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you been staying up late snapping and towering?
I might be snapping, and Peppino might be doing some of those good forward rolls that he does. Me and Peppino spaghetti. Are y'all playing that Pizza Tower? Just play Pizza Tower. Everybody just, it doesn't matter. I don't need to tell you anything about it. You don't need to know. You go to Steam and you type in Pizza Tower and then you fucking play it. Do you like Wario? Because you're never getting another good Wario game, so play Pizza Tower.
We're not?
Come on. The Teddy Roosevelt thing may have surprised you, but the Wario thing certainly can't.
No, I had hope.
Here's the thing. I love a Wario.
Uh-huh.
I love a Wario so much.
Ugh.
Some of you
A
might...
WarioWare.
Please.
A Wario World.
A Wario Land.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may be playing that Wario Land 3 that they just gave you on the Nintendo Online.
Mm-hmm.
Great game. Great game. Wario Land 3 changed everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Changed everything.
100%.
Wario Land 4, absolutely perfection. They took the idea and they made it perfect. Wario World, completely different thing. Still good.
Still good?
Still good. It's no Wario Land 4, but
Sure.
it's up there. Pizza Tower.
Anthony, did you play the new WarioWare that they made for the Switch?
It's too much.
What?
It just added, it was too much. The multiplayer and you're switching characters and the characters have different, they took away from the simplicity and the pure pick up and play joy that was WarioWare. I think they overcomplicated it.
I think that they overcomplicated it in some areas and stripped some very useful features. The mini games were still very fun once you got playing, but like the structure of getting to the little games in itself was mediocre at best.
It's supposed to happen just like that.
I know. It's supposed to be no time at all, and then you've got to finger up someone's nose. That's WarioWare, baby.
Peppino Spaghetti would never do this.
Why? What is happening? What is happening? Go back to bed.
Can I?
Only if you agree not to play Pizza Tower.
Whoa, never.
All right, let's talk about the
Never.
news. Hey, you know what? Speaking of Wario, there is a little bit of Nintendo news because Microsoft has signed a 10-year contract to bring Xbox games to Nintendo consoles, and most of these headlines.
Just a little Nintendo.
A little
news.
Nintendo news.
Just a tiny bit of Nintendo and Microsoft.
All
news.
these headlines were like to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo consoles.
Now, they do mention Call of Duty. Somebody from Microsoft did mention titles like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because, remember, Call of Duty is the linchpin of this whole thing. Call of Duty is the argument that Sony is making.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Call of Duty, nobody can do anything like Call of Duty. If Microsoft won't share Call of Duty, then they shouldn't be allowed to have Activision. So,
Look, we don't want them to have Activision, but it's a little rich.
yeah,
It's a little rich. It's a very funny little focus point.
But so now, they make this deal with Nintendo to bring Xbox games for 10 years. 10 years, which is the deal that they said they would give PlayStation for free. There's a whole thing that's going on here. So they say you can have Microsoft games on Nintendo systems for 10 years. You're going to get Blinks the Time Sweeper on the DSi. That's what this is really all about.
So,
You're going to be able to open up your DSi store and you will see that you have street passed
mm-hmm.
the little guy in the tube from Fusion Frenzy. And that's the power. I never thought I'd see it happen. I never thought I'd see the day.
Mostly because the Nintendo DSi store probably doesn't exist anymore. So that's probably why you thought that. Hey, bud, what's up?
I'm supposed to get my DSi games now.
How are you
can't just take that away.
Hey, how are you going to use those two cameras?
Look.
Let's take a look at the statement. All right, Brad Smith said we've now signed a binding 10-year contract to bring Xbox games to Nintendo gamers. It says a 10-year binding legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players the same day as Xbox with full features and content parity.
Well,
so they can experience Call of Duty just as Xbox and PlayStation gamers enjoy Call of Duty. We're committed to providing long-term equal access to Call of Duty and two other gaming platforms, bring more choice to players and more competition to the gaming market.
now Nintendo can have the toxic online discourse that we bring to everything else. You can now have a 13-year-old on Nintendo voice chat
but
say that they're going to do horrible things to your mother.
But Anthony,
That's feature parody. That's what that means.
No, you can't. Nintendo voice chat doesn't really exist. So all of these people are going to be
for my DSi.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
We're up here.
We're up here.
We're up here. We're up here. I'm going to need you to get up here. So listen, here's the thing. For those who have never used Nintendo Online's voice chat, you have to open up an app on your cell phone and then connect with a friend.
I'll tell you what. I've done it.
Yeah, we've done it.
It's great.
I mean, yeah,
it sounds really good.
But it's not like they have something where you can just get into like a lobby chat and talk with strangers.
God, no.
So how the fuck are people going to play Call of Duty?
Silently, the way they should be.
Though honestly, correct.
When they say feature and content parity, this is something that I think is interesting because currently let's say they were going to do this on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
That's not possible. It's simply not possible. We just ran a story earlier this week that Tears of the Kingdom is going to be the largest Nintendo game ever made at a whopping 14 gigabytes. 14 gigabytes is one dude's Snoop Dogg AR-15 skin for Call of Duty.
I was like, hey, where are we going with this?
You can get one Snoop Dogg emote on Call of Duty for 14 gigs.
That's approximately the size of downloading one discography from LimeWire.
That's it. So I'm never gonna have LimeWire for my DSi now.
You didn't get it?
No.
Before the store went down?
Nintendo was like, get all your MP3s, dog. Here's a Weezer song that says it's by Weird Al.
That's wild. Mine's still seeding, man.
Look, it's like, we know what they're saying. What they're saying is Game Pass is coming.
And they didn't say that, but God, that would be great.
But it's what they're saying.
Oh my God, that would be so great. But no, because
you can't fit a single Xbox game. On a Switch. What they're saying is cloud streaming.
I think cloud stream is coming, but I don't think Game Pass is.
That's what I'm saying. Game Pass cloud streaming is coming. You have to have Game Pass. Like that's what it's called.
But like
you actually have to have the highest level of Game Pass to play the least amount of games over the cloud.
I just can't imagine that they would give that up.
Oh, they're absolutely going to give it up.
They don't want to make the consoles anymore.
Phil doesn't want to make a box. He wants the box out of the Xbox. He just wants the X. He just wants to be the X.
You heard it here first. Phil Spencer wants your X.
The thing is, Phil doesn't want to sell you a box. He doesn't care. He'd like to stop making the boxes. They don't make any money on the boxes. They want to sell you the service. And then once you get the service, then you get the money. And when you get the money, then you get the women. And when you get the women, then you get the power.
You get people's exes.
You get people's exes.
Anthony, I would play Game Pass so fucking much on my Switch.
Phil Spencer would make the nerdiest Scarface.
You have to recontextualize every time we read a Phil Spencer statement. Every time he's like, hey, no, I want to make sure everybody gets a game. It's my responsibility to make sure everybody gets a game.
Listen, if everybody is not feeling the simple, pure joy of play, then I, Phil Spencer, cannot sleep at night. I'm much like Santa Claus in that if I'm asleep in bed and I know that one child is having a bad time, did not get the gift that they wanted, can't sleep.
Is that Santa lore?
I don't know. I'm Jewish.
Same.
I feel like I've seen something where Santa's like that, right? Where he's like, oh no, a kid doesn't have a thing.
We should do a full Patreon bonus clip at some point of our best guesses at Christian lore.
See, here's the thing. We know too much of it because it's a Christian society.
Well, there is the whole Christo-fascism that we live in.
Yeah,
but
so we know it's much more fun when I ask people what they think something Jewish is. And they're just like...
You know, I'll admit, I don't have a good time when that happens.
You have to learn to have a good time with it when you grow up in the South. So here we have 10 years. 10 years of Microsoft Xbox games coming to Nintendo. This is obviously... Now look, this is obviously a move that they're showing, that they're going, hey, it's okay that we're going to own everything because we're going to give it to everyone. We will be the most benevolent ruler you've ever seen. And so simply, you should accept your serfdom.
Hey, what's wrong with Monopoly if you get $200 every time you pass go?
Think about it. So, what we're not thinking of is that for a corporation, because yes, there are people running a corporation, but remember that these people think that business is their legacy. Owning the world is their legacy. 10 years is nothing. 10 years to take over all of games? It took longer than that for them to take over all of computers as Microsoft.
Hey, it's going to take us longer to cover up these cables.
10 years is nothing to them. Nothing. And they will just slowly, and what it is it's going to be 10 years of gradually growing market share, which is 10 years of great growth in stocks and stock values for them. 10 years is perfect. Because after the 10 years, they'll renew, they'll make more money off of it because now everybody wants to buy like Nintendo stuff because they get Nintendo and Xbox stuff on it.
I know.
And once they take that away in 10 years, it's like, wait, but Nintendo was my console where I get
my Game Pass.
Where I get all my game stuff. And then they signed the deal with PlayStation. And everybody goes, oh, now I get a PlayStation.
Anthony, I hate that it's working.
It's super working.
But
it's super working.
The amount of games that I have rebought on Switch that I also have on Game Pass because I specifically want to play them on my Switch.
Yep. Well, and Nintendo knows this,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be shocked to find that this deal is as all-encompassing as we think.
That's why I was like, there's no fucking way.
I think if anybody is going to make this deal make sense and not make it into what Microsoft thinks, because remember, Nintendo loves to sell boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Never wants to stop selling a box.
Nintendo honestly doesn't care if you only buy 2 games from them as long as you buy the box. They're the complete opposite.
Yeah.
They've always been a toy company. They will always be a toy company. So they don't want all of Microsoft's stuff. So this has got to be... Microsoft is arguing for Game Pass. Nintendo is saying, maybe cloud versions of a couple things.
Right.
Let's iron this out. But you should release games on our store if you're really going to do this. So some of that is happening.
I'm still skeptical of Game Pass.
Because
look, between our Nintendo family plan, Anthony, we're paying somebody at Nintendo's salary just between the two of us. With the sheer amount of things that we buy.
That family plan is over $30.
I mean, between the two of us, they recognize us as a family and the sheer amount of games that we buy.
That's $15 each. You're welcome, Nintendo.
I bought both types of Pokemon this last round.
I've never understood the buying both Pokemon.
I never did it. And then the only thing that I could get, everything was sold out, was a double pack. I wanted it.
That digital double pack?
No, I wanted a little chip.
You want a little chip?
I love physical Nintendo games. Everything else, I hate physical media. I hate to be burdened by it. Don't you dare ask me to hold a disc. I'll fuck you up. Don't you dare ask me to deal with a disc. But a tiny little chippy? Yes. All in.
We've had this discussion before.
I love my little chippies.
No
I love my
chippies.
little chippies. I hate a disc. I hate a big case. I love a little organizer full of tiny chippies. Always the cartridge. Yes, thank you.
Here's all my games are on a little chippy, one little chippy, and it goes into my Switch, and all of my games are with me at all times, and I don't have to worry about 100 little chippies.
Do you not enjoy the process of when the chip pops out and when the chip pops in?
Not as much as I hate looking for / not having the game I want at any particular time.
I'm starting to think that I might be on the autism spectrum, but it's only a suspicion at this time.
Hard to say. It's impossible to know.
There's still other Nintendo news though. Nintendo announced a Pokemon Presents event for next week.
Ooh.
Thank you, Nintendo, as always.
Pokemon Presents to the polls. Am I right?
Nintendo is one of the only companies that respects us enough to put their directs early in the day. So this is a 6 a.m. on February 27th. What day of the week is that, man?
Christmas Day.
Santa lore.
Santa lore is where Santa is from. Where all the Santas battle to decide who will be the ultimate Santa.
It's a Monday, so hey, you know that we'll be here for that. I don't know what I'm expecting from a Pokemon Presents right now. It must just be the first up.
Our time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. You know what would be great, Nintendo?
Hmm?
And this is just me spitballing. If you're going to have a little mini Mishy.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a little mini Mishy for us.
Yeah.
It'd be dope if it started around like 8:15.
No, Anthony, we're already live then.
And then we could live.
Oh, no, we're also not allowed to do that. Nintendo doesn't allow that.
I thought they allow that now.
Nope, sure can't. Nintendo specifically doesn't allow it.
These little Mishies.
These little Mishy motherfuckers.
These little Mishy motherfuckers. What are we expecting from this Pokemon?
So that's the thing. They just had 20 minutes of exciting Pokemon news in celebration of Pokemon Day. Now, for Pokemon Day in the past, we always get like really out of left field shit, like a Katy Perry Pokemon song. Mm-hmm. I'm not expecting something big. Featuring Post Malone, obviously. My guess is the first update for Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, we know that's coming.
Right.
We know that a major update is coming.
But I don't have anything else on my radar. So I'm going to say a Pokemon theme song rendition by Kim Petras.
I'd love that. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I have no idea. There's nothing Pokemon that I'm like thinking about that's like coming up or would be coming up. Pokemon like Go Fest just happened, so that's already out of the way. And also was a cluster. Did you hear about Go Fest?
No, because you're the only one still playing Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Well, I've stopped playing Pokemon Go.
Got it. Okay, it's all Pizza Tower now.
Pokemon Go is over. It's all Marble Snap. Now, sometimes I suspect that I too might be on the autism spectrum.
It's just a suspicion at this time.
It's just a suspicion, and we have no further information at this time. They had Go Fest, and Go Fest was in this public park in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And even though you needed to pay money to get the special stuff, people in the Vegas area were like, well, I didn't buy a ticket to Go Fest, but I'll hang out around that park because all the trainers will be there. And they'll be doing a high concentration of Pokemon.
Friends.
And an extra 17,000 people showed up, and nobody could use Pokemon Go all day during Go Fest.
Fucking get it. Hell yeah.
And Nintendo politely asked people to get away from the public park. Like Pokemon, sorry, Niantic. But they tweeted out like, hey, trainers, if you don't have a Go Fest, why don't you not come by here, you fuckers? You're ruining it, you pores. Hey, pores, could you stop ruining it for everyone? And the pores were like, eat shit. I'm going to the park.
The amount of times in my life I've said that as a poor.
Yeah. So I don't know what could be coming from a Pokemon Direct.
Someone in chat suggested maybe a Pokemon Cafe update, probably.
Oh, yeah, they have 100 little mobile things I don't care.
Yeah, they have 100 little mobile things that'll get 100 little updates.
What is it, Unite? The one that's a MOBA? The mobile MOBA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we're getting a Unite update. Who knows? I'll tell you what we already know, and so it can't be that.
What?
Wave 2 of the Pokemon Cross Squishmallow. It's already been announced. It popped up on the Instagram for Squishmallows. It's a Snorlax, and a Togepi. Wait,
but I haven't even gotten the last ones yet.
I know.
Please, I want the Gengar so bad.
I know.
I have an excellent stuffed Snorlax.
You do?
I have such a good stuffed Snorlax.
I feel like I understand why it wasn't, but I feel like Snorlax should always be first when you're thinking about Pokemon stuffies.
But who are you eliminating from it then? Are you taking Gengar out?
No, I love
because they're not coming out the gate without Pikachu.
I love that they went Gengar instead.
That's because they know goth bitches love a Gengar.
They know Squishmallows know who their audience is, and they know that it's goth bitches who love a Gengar.
And goth bitches love a Squishmallow.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just truth.
That's just truth.
They know it.
Hey, are you neurodivergent? How many Squishmallows you got? Prove it.
I could go get them. Hold on.
Prove your neurodivergence. How many Squishmallows do you need to feel comfortable?
A Gengar.
It's more than one.
I've never felt comfort in my life until I get my Gengar.
It's more than one. I'll tell you that much. So that's exciting. We know that's coming. I couldn't tell you what they're going to do with this Pokemon Presents. Couldn't for the life of me.
I think it's just the Scarlet Violet update and a bunch of smaller like mobile and like side game updates. But like I said, one pop hit.
At least one.
One mildly embarrassing, slightly off from being good pop hit.
Yeah. Somebody's getting the bag. Who do we think is getting the bag?
Ooh. But it also can't be somebody incredibly current. They need to be like 3 years out, you know?
Yeah.
It's a Pokemon
Post
company.
Malone was still kind of riding the Post Malone high when he did the Pokemon thing.
Katy Perry, I think, was already an American Idol judge, though.
Yeah.
So it balanced it out.
You got to balance.
And it was definitely post like, Sunflower. Anyways.
Not to be outdone, Sony says they're doing stuff too. Sony says, hey, we're also doing things this week. Believe it. First thing, we're going to do a state of play. Now, what's it focused on, everybody says? And they said, indies. And the PlayStation audience went, oh, get the fuck out of here. Have you ever seen the PlayStation audience when PlayStation goes, we're doing an indie-focused PlayStation, and they're like, oh. And I'm just like, hey, you just learn to love.
Hey, you.
Pepito Spaghetti wouldn't stand for this.
Oh, I swear if you don't start being nice to these indie games, I'm gonna.
So PlayStation said, it's a state of play about indies. And the PlayStation audience went, and what else? And they said, PSVR 2. And the PlayStation fans said, what else?
And on that front,
they said, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. And the PlayStation fans went, okay, yeah, we'll watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You're going to put it last? What time are you starting? How long is it going to be?
I love that is its full own category when you look at this list. PSVR, hot indie and third-party reveals, and specifically Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which I'm very excited about that game.
Yeah, so this is exciting. This is going to happen Thursday at 1 p.m.
That's tomorrow.
And it means PlayStation's got some of those exclusive goods.
Yeah.
They don't show an extended preview of somebody else's game for nothing. If they're showing the extended preview, that means they've got something. They've got some sort of exclusives, whether it's downloadables, DLC, some
You think
sort
they
of
have an
early
exclusive
thing.
character?
It wouldn't be the first time.
They love to have an exclusive character.
It wouldn't be the first time, but I don't know with this one. I think with this one, they know that they are a multi-platform game. They are a seller for anyone. They are a platform seller for anybody that they decide to go with. So I don't know if they are doing an exclusive character, but I wouldn't be shocked if they have exclusive unlocks, costumes, things like that.
Right.
Or like a timed exclusive on some extra content, some levels, something like that. Who knows? Hey, everybody, just as a reminder, we see your subs, we see your donos, we appreciate them very much, and we always do a roll call at the end of the show. We are very, very thankful for you all.
Very cool of you. Thank you. I want to talk about something funny.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk
that. Oh, my bad.
What? Was there more?
I don't know. I wanted to talk a little bit about maybe some of this PSVR stuff.
More? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
People are really liking the PSVR. I don't know.
See, it's very interesting because you look at all of the replies to that tweet. All of them are just being like, "No Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Why not Spider-Man 2?
Why Spider-Man 2? You know Spider-Man 2 is coming. They don't have to show you Spider-Man 2.
They're not ready to show you Spider-Man 2.
You know, on one level, the current generation has been raised on marketing, and they are so marketing savvy, better than anybody else. They understand when they are being sold to more than anyone in history ever has.
And they're fine with it.
But they also completely don't when it suits them. Like, they don't understand why PlayStation is not showing them Spider-Man 2. They don't need to. And it's far out. It's not coming soon, and they already know you're going to buy it. Why would they show it to you?
Anthony, they announced this 23 hours ago. Cap Corgi did need a little more notice. To attend, of course.
Cap Corgi's not wrong.
So kind of like notice on this one, but cool. How much notice do you need to watch a PlayStation State of Play?
I don't know. That Corgi is probably very busy.
That Corgi's a streamer.
I mean, it probably is a streamer.
No.
It got a blue check.
No,
yeah, okay.
That Corgi's a streamer.
Variety streamer, Corgi.
Great. Love that for you.
Oh.
But it is very funny to me to be like, wow, kind of like notice. I only have 2 days to prepare for State of Play. What is your preparation process like for the State of Play, Cap?
Well, so, I don't know. If Cap is a heavy PlayStation streamer or something like that, or talks a lot about the industry, maybe they're the sort of person that likes to prep or do a co-stream or something like that. I don't know.
Anthony, it's a Corgi.
Is it really a Corgi? Because if it is, I'm gonna watch their streams. I think it's just a Corgi lover.
Nah, in my mind, that Corgi needed a little more notice to attend that State of Play.
In my mind, that's a Twitch partnered Corgi.
Yeah.
That Corgi's got a purple hoodie that it wears everywhere.
And honestly, rubbing it in that Twitch partners don't get that anymore.
PSVR 2 has had a surprisingly strong launch. The pre-order numbers were incredibly high for it. I forget exactly what they were, but a lot of people are doing it. It's been getting a lot of coverage and a lot of positive coverage. A lot of the games so far have not been brand new or exclusives.
Right.
I'm wondering if this is when they say, release the exclusives.
Hey, Dagger. Hey, Producer Dagger. Hey, Producer Dagger.
No, that's not a bed. That's metal.
He's trying to climb into a light.
There's diffusion paper on top of a light, and so he's decided maybe it's a bed for him?
Now, mind you, directly next to the couch is an actual bed for him.
Now, and also...
the other half of the couch.
And also, he wanted to be on the half of the couch that I cleared off. There was stuff on that side of the couch, and I cleared it off for him. Wow. Wow.
We'll drop pics on the Patreon.
Wow.
He said, what, Father? Make room for me in the light. He needs an entire couch to himself, is the thing.
It's, honestly, it's more of a love seat. He's so big.
He's a real big guy. It's, mind you, it's just one of those little panel lights. Then just like it's just unplugged sitting on the couch. And he was like, looks like me. Yeah, that's what you wanted.
You good now?
Okay.
Had to be on that. Listen, as he gets older, he gets more and more neurotic, and I understand. I 100% understand. And when he decides, he's like, no, this is the side I want to lay on now. Why aren't both sides open? Just in case. I can't count on always wanting to be on the same side, even though I always want to be on the same side.
Look, in his age, he needs certain accommodations.
It's true.
All of them.
All of the accommodations. Give them all to me.
Okay, so what you speculating for PSVR?
It's got to be more first-party Sony stuff.
It has to be, right? I feel like we did that like initial launch list, and it was, in my opinion, it fell a little short.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of updates and re-releases, and not all of them got free upgrades. Some you can purchase again, and
some that had just been on the first PSVR, and some that were on Oculus.
Yeah.
Or Steam.
Yeah. So there wasn't a ton of new stuff, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, what sort of game is coming for PSVR? Are we getting another Astrobot? They launched Astrobot with the first PSVR. Astrobot's fun. We like Astrobot. What other like PlayStation classics could they come out with? I mean, it's not going to be a God of War. Maybe it's a God of War. Is it a God of War? Do you throw an axe?
Arnie just said, can I buy Skyrim again? I need to buy Skyrim again.
They're definitely going to announce that you can buy Skyrim again. Don't worry. They're going to announce that you can buy Skyrim.
You'll absolutely be able to buy Skyrim again.
And it'll be a PS5 update to the current Skyrim VR, and then in 2 years they're gonna have Skyrim VR Ultimate PSVR 2 Special Edition.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe what would it be? Uncharted's done.
They just said that they're all done.
It's done. So I mean, they could get a third-party studio to make something.
They could, like but it would be wild to announce it, especially after the news story just went around that Uncharted was dead.
Yeah.
That would be a wild time to announce that. I don't have any speculations for this, to be honest.
Somebody says, not the Lysander says, Mimir Simulator. You just hang there while Kratos smashes things. All you see is like, you keep hitting Kratos' hip, and you're like looking up sometimes, and you don't know, and you're just like, brother. Brother. I'm the smartest man in the world, brother. Ow. Don't do it, brother. Ow. A lad. A lad.
I'm hoping for some exclusives.
I want exclusives.
I want brand new exclusive titles that I can't already get on my Oculus.
They got to come out strong. They have to. Because the things that I find the most interesting on the PSVR 2 are things that I can get on the Oculus right now. I already have Tetris Effect. I already have, what's the survival one that 17-bit did with the smoke? The smoke and the flame, whatever it is. There's a lot of stuff that's on there that I've already got. So what are they going to give me? They have to show third-party developers that they are going to seriously support this thing.
Yeah.
Because they supported it. They gave it a decent amount of support, but they supported it for about like 12 to 18 months. And then they said, you're on your own. And the problem with that is if the first party stops supporting hardware, everybody stops supporting hardware. Everybody stops supporting it.
Beanpole Games said, I just want a VR Portal game. And I know we'll never get it, but I also want it so bad.
They keep almost doing it. They're just like, here's the Aperture Lab VR. There's a little Portal in it, just a little bit.
Give me a lot.
Then you get a Steam Deck, and they're like, "Welcome to Aperture Desk Job." It's a little bit of Portal.
No Portal VR. I would like that, but there's no way.
Yeah, I mean that's C. Dandino saying, "I got my Tetris Effect, Moss, and Beat Saber already." And here's the thing: if you buy Beat Saber on anything but the PC, you're a sucker. You are, because you can't add your own music.
Oh.
If you buy Beat Saber on a console, you have to, or you buy like the Quest like localized version, you got to buy their music packs. You can't play all the very good, weird community levels that people put out for every song you've ever thought of. Every song.
Yeah.
Every song.
Every song.
I played Beat Saber to that Pizza Hut Taco Bell song.
Fortunately, I do have a bunch of 14 gigabyte discographies from LimeWire, so I'm ready. I want to point out something from the chat. Kodoroku said that he's listening to a podcast. They're talking about VR, and it came up of like why wearing headsets is like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And basically, everyone said they feared that they would be murdered at any moment because they can no longer perceive the world when they have a headset on. Do you have that fear?
No,
I do.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for people, though.
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's true.
Anthony,
you put on that headset.
No senses.
But very funny TikTok video. You put on the headset, no senses. somebody comes in to burgle and or do a murder to you, you're swinging around your hands.
Knock them.
You keep knocking them out.
Yeah,
every time
yeah.
They try to, that's very funny.
A good bit.
Good bit.
My problem was then I got sent to Utah and all of my fears were validated. I was sitting there and that's why I don't stream VR, because I'm uncomfortable with the idea of being perceived while not able to perceive.
Yeah.
That freaks me out. I don't like that. Feels bad. But I did it. I go out there. I'm streaming a fucking zombie survival game. When I feel the presence of a man, and I take the headset off and he is just like,
Ugh.
ugh,
Ugh.
live on the internet.
Yeah.
I take it off. He goes, you streaming?
You streaming, dog?
Yeah, the computer's in front of us. You can see that.
Hey, dog, you streaming?
So anyways, validated.
Where were the people that were supposed to make sure you were? That's fine. That's fine.
Well,
That's a whole thing.
well,
It's a whole thing.
well.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And, you know, there's a lot of safety concerns that people have too. They're worried, they're worried they're going to knock into something. They're worried they're going to trip. They're going to hurt themselves. All this stuff. And also people just don't like looking stupid.
Yeah.
But people do not like to look stupid.
Yeah.
And they have this feeling that when they're in VR, they look stupid. And you do.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
Have fun. Look stupid. It's fine.
Everyone could look a little silly sometimes.
If you can't look stupid in your own home with a pair of world-blocking goggles on, where can you look stupid? I look stupid all the time without even realizing it in public. I might as well do it at home on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You pick me up.
Like a baby?
Yeah, pick me up like a baby. Give me uppies. You think you can give me uppies?
I am wearing platforms. Hold on, let me take my shoes off. No, get up. Get up.
I'm waiting, I'm here. Don't worry. Yeah, this is good. Yeah. No, this is nice. Yeah.
I did it. No one can tell me I can't.
That was lovely.
We do have from our photo shoot a bunch of photos of you on my back.
That's true. It's like my go-to.
Very strong. Thank you very much, everybody. Hey, y'all see there was an update for The Witcher?
Yeah, I saw this story too.
Y'all see that a sweet update for The Witcher?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They added a bunch of community mods into the game.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
The Witcher 3, the remastered edition. They included a lot of new content. And some of that content was community mods that have been very, very popular that a lot of people have used. And so it's like, well, if most of the audience is using this, then it should be part of the game.
And we love that.
We love that.
That's a great mindset.
Well, they pay the modders.
So, do they not? No?
They didn't even tell a lot of the modders that their stuff was being used.
Fuck. Okay. Well, that's not really the headline of this story, but
they
shit.
Didn't get bonus tokens. CD Projekt Red
course,
loves
it's fucking
to give
CD
people
Projekt Red.
bonus tokens.
Okay, so in doing so, one of the mods that they added for the game was to make monsters more realistic. It was HD monsters reworked. Okay.
This is such a good rabbit hole.
Yes.
Right. So there's the HD monsters reworked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So that was to make the monsters more detailed in the game. Unfortunately, what came with HD Monsters Reworked that CD Projekt Red did not manage to catch was realistic genitals.
That's right. And not just for monsters, for all of your favorite Witcher characters.
Now, in The Witcher, there are quite a few things that are like sex scenes and romantic encounters, and typically they use a lot of like, oh, something's just barely covered, just blocked by a camera angle. And this mod said, not anymore, bitches, let's see it.
Now, this is where the rabbit hole comes in. Well, first of all, I want to say that every single person with a vagina in The Witcher sculpts their hair in the exact same way. They do the landing strip.
Would it almost be weirder if it wasn't that they did a bunch of individual?
Well, I just love the idea of, if we pull up, I just love the idea of the horrible forest monsters taking time for a little sculpt down there and nowhere else.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
A little, treating the feminine mystique. You know what I mean? But no other part of them. So everyone has a landing strip. So only one style of realistic vagina.
Now, why is that the focus on this, Anthony?
No, but
so it continues.
This is the other part of the
okay,
rabbit
if
hole.
this, then what?
By finding that, people looked at it and went, "Oh, this is the vagina from another mod." I recognize this well-manicured vagina. It's from another mod that I use. That's the realistic body and person mod. And what this turns out is, not only did CD Projekt Red give all the monsters vajayjays, the creator of the more realistic monsters mod used a vagina from another mod without asking that creator. And
so now nobody's getting paid. Oh wait, they never were.
Nobody's getting proper credit for these vaginas. So the deal is, apparently the creator of the more realistic monsters mod reached out to the modder who made
and was like, oops, sorry.
Back in the day, reached out to the modder that made the good vaginas and said, hey, you made some good vaginas. Can I use them in my mod? But at that point, the modder of the original vagina had stopped.
You have to stop.
Had removed themselves from the modding community, so they never got a reply. So the person who made the more realistic monsters mod said, well, if this person's not replying, I've asked, I've given them a lot of time, I'm going to use it. And if they say, get my vagina out of your mod, I will simply remove the vagina from my mod. That person never got back to them because they're no longer in the scene. CD Projekt Red picks up this monster mod, puts it into a retail release of their AAA video game. There's your vagina.
The vagina mods is my favorite stage play.
The vagina monologues.
Anyways,
that's right, Chris Plowman. Once again, vagina's not getting proper credit in video games.
Anthony, the YouTube version of this is going to get taken down. And to that we say,
I'm simply reporting the facts. I am simply reporting the facts.
Okay, let's do one more piece of, let's do a couple more pieces of good news, and then we have something questionable. Bad. Sega joins a bunch of the other developers in Japan. What?
No, you go ahead. You finish the headline, then I'm going to ask my question.
Okay. Sega joins the other collection of developers that have decided to give a pay bump due to rising cost of living, and has given their employee salaries a 30% pay bump.
30%.
30%.
That's more than Nintendo. And
we love
Sega
to
wants
hear
you to know
it.
that, probably. When you think Sega, do you think Sega, or do you think Sega?
Oh no, I think Sega. You?
Yeah.
When you said it, as soon as you said, do you think like when you hear Sega, my brain went Sega automatically.
I actually, because I'm a deep Sega nerd, an uncurable Sega nerd, I actually think about a particular version of it that's from a stall from the Saturn. And it's like a symphonic thing. It's like dun, 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 Sega. And it's like very beautiful. I'll find it.
Don't.
I will. I will.
You shouldn't.
I simply will, though.
But we're doing a show.
I know.
It's about news.
We'll play it on the show.
This isn't news.
Has anybody heard this? It's very good.
I don't think that counts as news.
Flying Squirrel says that they hear the Game Gear chimes. I can't even think of the Game Gear chimes. I was never a Game Gear kid.
Same.
When you tell me you hear the Game Gear chimes, I hear "wing," which is the Nintendo beep for the Game Boy.
Interesting.
My brain simply says Record not found. Here's closest.
God, I love the Game Boy sound.
They have the ding.
The Game Boy sound is good. Damn. Just thinking about good video game sounds. Not like from the games themselves. Just a good sound a console makes. Okay, here we go, I guess.
Yeah, it's good.
Why is this a 3-minute long video?
It's gonna do the whole intro, but we're not going to listen to that.
Anthony.
Hold on, I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll find it. Did they skip it? That's garbage. Keep going. I'm with you.
You're definitively not.
I'm with you.
So that's pretty
30%.
cool. Other games news. There's no more else about the Sega, so we're moving on.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk about those good Legos?
I guess. I was kind of starting something, but I could talk about some Legos.
You got a roll? Let's go on a roll. I love a roll.
There's no roll anymore.
No, there is.
No.
So Sega is being very generous to people, their employees in these downturn economic times, and it once again shows the difference in philosophies between Japan and America during economic downturns and whether they will invest in people or not. What's going on? What else is going on the internet?
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
You stop this. You fucking knock it off.
Do the thing. What was the thing you're going to do?
There's Zelda Legos. Like, there was a set. There was a great Deku Tree Lego set, and it was unfortunately taken down very quickly. They got copyright strikes. It was some kind of leak. I don't have all the information because the shit's already down.
Yeah, so people have been thinking that there's going to be Zelda Legos for a million years. People have been like, when are Zelda Legos? When are Zelda Legos? There have been a few times where on Lego Ideas, people have posted Zelda Legos.
And of course, we've recently gotten a bunch of those Mario Lego sets. Right. So we're like, hey, you're working with Nintendo.
So people are like, yeah, it's happening, right? Like, it has to happen. Mm-hmm. And what happened was there was a leak where people heard that there was a great Deku Tree set coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't confirmed. And the way it became confirmed is by Nintendo and Lego DMCA striking and taking down anybody who mentioned the rumor. They did that thing that Nintendo does.
Where they validate a rumor by issuing a copyright strike because otherwise they wouldn't care. So, hey, I would love to. I would love a great Deku Tree Lego set.
Rumor says this is a 1,900-piece set. It's going to come with 2 canopies of leaves for the Deku Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Green and pink leaves, so you can have it match either Ocarina or Link to the Past. Or, I'm sorry, Ocarina or Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? That's going to be like a $500 Lego set. $400. No, $250. $250. 1,900 pieces. $250. What's the Rivendell? Because Rivendell's like $500. And Rivendell is like...
So Peach's Castle is $130.
Yeah. Deku Tree's got to be a $250. Deku Tree's a $250 set. If it's $130,
I'm going to say $150 to $199. That's my guess. I'm going for under $200 because $270 is the entire NES system, and that was a very in-depth set.
It was. It's an in-depth set.
It had a lot of functionality.
But a small set.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's like what? It's like that big? It's not like real Nintendo size, is it?
No, it's like full fucking size. I have it.
But the TV tiny.
So.
Right?
No.
No?
No.
Right?
No, look at the TV next to the console.
Yeah.
The console is like NES sized.
Okay. It's like that?
Yeah. And then a TV.
TV like that?
Yeah. That's a big fucking set.
It's a big set.
The TV is 60 inches, correct.
Whoa.
And it had all that functionality to it where you can like move Mario across it and shit, and like the little spot for the cartridge opens. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So my guess is $150 to $199.
It's pretty good.
One more before we get into the shit.
Okay, but first, I found the install.
God damn it. Very good, Anthony.
That's a good Sega.
That's very good.
busted you!
Okay, anyways.
We couldn't hear it, no sound.
Anthony, all that and no sound? Barely any sound. There was sound, it was just quiet.
Oh, yeah, we have the laptops turned down pretty low.
Because otherwise, we get hit with copyright strikes. Blumhouse. I don't like the I don't have the thing to adjust it.
Blumhouse.
Anthony.
I adjusted it.
No, it's low in OBS. Look at that. I don't think. Look how low it is.
It's pretty low.
It's pretty low. Anyways,
I'll put a link.
Blumhouse is getting into games. We don't exactly know what direction they're heading yet. Blumhouse, of course, the famous horror company, does a little bit of everything. Most recently, of course, known for Megan.
Mm-hmm.
But Blumhouse has done so freaking many things over the years. So, like, I think that more crossover between people who are making movies and people who are making games.
Sure.
Good.
Yep.
Great. I hope that they hire an excellent team to do it.
Yep.
They said that for some time, we've been looking to build out a team to start accessing the growth opportunity in interactive media. When we sat with Zach and Don, they articulated a great approach to resonated with Blumhouse's model and knew that it would be the perfect place for us to start our push into the interactive space. So the idea into gaming, we don't know how much of a game it's going to be, whether it'll be something more like a interactive novel or something of the sort.
Well, I mean, it depends. Annapurna,
mm-hmm.
who of course makes films
mm-hmm.
and is a film studio first, became much more of an interactive studio over the last few years, and their games, I think, have a little more cachet than their movies these days.
Mm-hmm.
You look at certain other TV and media companies, and it depends. Are they going to be their own publisher? Are they going to be their own developer? Do they want to be a label where they are going to be going out and acquiring games, or
mm-hmm.
do they want to just be licensing their properties out?
So it says here that they'll primarily partner with indie designers to create horror-themed projects.
Mm-hmm.
A press release says the company will target titles with budgets under $10 million.
Look at Zach Wood.
They've placed Zach Wood as president of Blumhouse Games, so it's an internal department.
Uh-huh.
Previously, most recently at Iron Galaxy, but previously Arcane in Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I still wonder, because Iron Galaxy was definitely much more of a publisher than an internal developer. They do have an internal development team that helps
mm-hmm.
out with ports and things like that.
And then we also have CFO Don Scheller, former head of finance and operations and strategy at PlayStation.
Making big moves.
They're coming in pretty hot on that.
Making moves. It's kind of interesting.
I'd be curious to see it. I might enjoy a Megan game more than the movie.
Could be.
I'll play a freaky doll.
But I love the idea of there just being a label that has, like, when you hear Blumhouse, you kind of know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be kind of interesting to see them being like, well, we're just going to find and acquire games that have that similar aesthetic, so you
mm-hmm.
always know what you're getting. Like Devolver doesn't do much internal development at all.
Right.
They're a publisher. So, but when you get a Devolver game, like the house style.
100%.
So that's kind of cool.
I'm into that. Let's talk about what I'm not into.
Long thingies coming at you in the dark.
True. From employees at Wormwood Gaming.
Ooh.
Rough, everybody. It's fucking rough out here. It's real fucking rough out here. Wormwood Gaming, of course, famously makes mostly wood, really luxury wood products and accessories for tabletop gaming.
More wood than worms.
More wood than worms. You might know them from dice boxes and dice trays. You might know them recently from a lot of the tables. A lot of the big Twitch channels that do tabletop content have a Wormwood table that they spent so much money on.
Sure.
And a collection of events has happened. Originally, a tweet not naming the employee alleged that an employee was fired after coming forward about sexual misconduct within the company. Now, there have been previous reports from Wormwood about toxic work environments, but nothing to this scale. So at that, it was just a tweet. Originally, it was just a tweet. Then the person came forward and said, I'm a former Wormwood gaming employee, and I want to put my story on record. The tweet was talking, I'm who the tweet was talking about. Remember firing me, Doug? I'm glancing away throughout the video because I wrote this all down for clarity and brevity. So to summarize, this person came forward because they had been informed by the victim that one of their coworkers had sexually assaulted someone. They did not sexually assault another employee, but they did allegedly sexually assault someone in the Wormwood office.
Ooh. So we have a few tweets that popped up here. Obviously, content warning for y'all. Mods will let you know when we're done with this.
Yep.
So a very good friend of mine was SA'd by a Wormwood gaming employee. Another employee find out, came forward and was fired. Do not support their new Kickstarter. They support assaulters and fire whistleblowers. Friends, a buddy of my husband's was SA'd by a Wormwood employee. When another employee came out about it, the employee was fired, and they kept the perpetrator. I was the employee fired in the situation. My Twitter avatar is the same as the one when I was still working there. They took design concepts from me, as well as doing all of these other things.
So that's a very obviously serious allegation. And you would think that Wormwood would take that very seriously.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
But instead, Wormwood said, let's do another workplace comedy vlog and have a chat about it. In maybe one of the most disgusting responses I've seen from a company regarding an allegation of this size, they continued their day-to-day around the office vlogs. But in this vlog, they had 3 men, no women in the room, 3 men sit around and discuss what makes a story seem true when someone is alleging assault. What
makes a story seem true?
So in it, I wanted to vom the entire time watching this video. It's a 14-minute video. And you can see this is kind of just like the format of it. I'm not going to show any of this fucking douche talking. I don't care. He sits there and he screams the entire time. He speaks about this like theoretical, whoever this woman is that's not being named, with such disdain. And he's like, well, it wasn't even another employee. We can't investigate. We're not the police. We can't investigate it. And then they continue to harp on the fact that there was no police report that was filed.
Oh, that's the most common fucking garbage bullshit in the world. It's because nobody feels safe reporting these things to the police or going through the legal system because there is very rarely any justice and only trauma for the people who report these things.
Correct. So the way to figure out if something is true or is not is never whether or not there was a police report. That's bullshit. You suck.
Yo, what? The worst people will always go, well, if it's true, where's the paperwork?
Yep.
When in the rest of their lives, I bet they're just the most libertarian garbage asshole people.
100%.
That are just like, get the government out of my face, get the cops out of my face, don't hassle me, no one hassle me, there's no reason for this. And then all of a sudden it's like, where's the legal paper trail? Once again, legal filings don't mean something did or did not happen.
Correct. And when women do file the report that someone has assaulted them, there is only like a 2% chance that that's going to work. So with the odds directly stacked against us, it's highly unlikely that people go to the police. So this dude sits there and yells, and I'm not kidding, fucking yells for some reason at the other employees through the entire video of being like, I did everything that I could. I took this very seriously, but you can't be walking around and saying stuff like that. You can't just be walking around with an accusation like that, okay? All he's concerned about is that this employee was starting what was considered at the time to be workplace drama. Now, mind you, once again...
All he's worried about in this is the bottom line of his currently running Kickstarter. Correct.
Now, there were other employees on site that were able to corroborate at least that that woman was with that man at the office at the time that this is being alleged.
Imagine responding to serious allegations like this from people you work with, about people you work with, people who you see most of the day, every day, that are integral to at least your professional life, but at a small company, probably also your personal life, and not wanting to take it seriously and make sure everyone involved is okay. And instead yelling about how you are the best boy you can be in all situations. And why is everybody trying to ruin your best boy money day?
That's it. That's fully it.
Why are you trying to ruin my best boy money day? Now, people are saying they are not surprised by this. Apparently, I'm not super familiar with, I mean, I know Wormwood's products, but I don't know a ton about them.
I've met them.
Apparently on their Twitch channel, they are known to respond to negativity in very horrible ways.
Yeah. Hey, as someone who's been at a lot of conventions with Wormwood and had email exchanges with Wormwood, I'm not going to say that this correlates to something like assault happening. There's no like anything like that. But what I will say is the response to it is unsurprising.
Yeah, what we can at least say is that this sort of callous behavior is not unexpected from them. Apparently, not only do they make like extremely inappropriate jokes on their Twitch about people, about their audience, but also they apparently have unsafe work practices, according to a lot of these people, and overall exploitation of their workforce. So they are overworking people in unsafe conditions as well. Woodworking shops, any sort of hand manufacturing, needs to be a particularly safe and supportive environment for your employees. It's also you're hiring craftspeople who put a lot of their physical health into the things that they do. And apparently they are not the sort of people that respect that.
Now, this employee that came forward about being terminated for it was speaking about it. And according to their account of it, they said they were fired that day. The day they came forward about it. They said that the CEO, I believe, was his position or president of the company, Doug, pulled him aside and was like, hey, can we have a private chat after the meeting that was called to discuss it, thinking that he was going to try and have a private conversation to inquire about more details about what this employee knew or what this had come from. He instead took him out back and said, hey, you can't be starting shop drama, and immediately fired him on the spot.
Shop drama. Get fucked. The only official statement they've made was on their Kickstarter. It's by Kate Burnick of Wormwood Gaming, who says, we are aware of the deeply disturbing allegations against Wormwood Gaming, and we strongly encourage their leadership to take, or this is from Kickstarter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kate Burnick from Kickstarter, not from Wormwood.
No, that would imply that women work at Wormwood.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Well, I thought maybe they ran around the office and found the one woman.
Which is very, very common for companies like this to do, where they put the woman out in the front lines to say, oh, no, it's good here, I promise.
Kickstarter says, we are aware of the deeply disturbing allegations against Wormwood, and we strongly encourage their leadership to take every step necessary to investigate possible abuse in their shop. Now, you may say immediately, Kickstarter needs to remove the Wormwood Kickstarter from their platform. And I think I think there's a pretty strong argument for that. And
I'm in agreement with it. I wonder what the legality of it.
That's the thing.
I don't know if they legally can do that, though obviously I think that if they can, they should, is I guess where we land on that.
I think the thing is Kickstarter is probably waiting to see what sort of substantive things can be found about the allegations. Whereas Wormwood needs to take these allegations seriously because they are against Wormwood and they are the first party. Kickstarter is in a legally thornier position because if they don't have valid legal reason to remove this, I have a feeling Wormwood's a pretty litigious bunch. And if their Kickstarter's sitting at over $1 million right now and that gets terminated and it's not according to anything on the terms of service of Kickstarter that Kickstarter can immediately point to and justify, Wormwood's gonna make a stink about it. And something tells me Wormwood also has some very cool and good and normal fans that probably would make Kickstarter's life not so great.
So I just happened to find a helpful article that says, while a project is still live, you can cancel your pledge by visiting the project page, just as a reminder for anybody who wanted to see it. But the comments on this video were honestly shocking to me.
Yeah.
They treated it like it was...
not be able to do anything, but if you put your money towards something, can always remove that money.
And I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Tell me about this video.
The comment section was just absolutely disgusting because everybody was treating it like it was another fucking random workplace vlog. Bass, instead of going off the cuff, let's work on a timeline. Put significant time, effort, and care into it. Doug, yeah, sure. Let me just go off the cuff first. Shout out to Bass for pushing back on what Doug could have done differently. Like, what? Why are we giving these men any credit? I am tired of conversations about issues that massively and statistically impact women most, having no fucking women in the room. I'm so fucking tired of this. I'm so tired of men talking about our issues like they understand them in any perspective other than perpetrating them. The only thing those men will ever understand, abundantly clear from that video, is being on the side of causing it. There's not an ounce of understanding. There's not an ounce of experience with this. And they really sat there and yelled about how they were handling it correctly.
Well,
and
that's a thing that particularly sticks out to me is like the armchair internet debate club of it all, where it's like Doug was going on a rant and Baz had some good points to refute Doug. And it's like, hey, these comments should be, what are you doing about it?
All of the comments are more clarification than I figured we'd ever get given the subject matter. Thank you. All of them like referencing points in the video that they enjoyed. And I think that is so fucking dystopian.
They're pruning comments.
I'm sure that they are, but those comments still exist and that makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Like the fact that these people are able to see this and be like, wow, you guys really handled it. And like, this isn't clarification.
That's the other thing.
No one affected by this is in the room, which means you didn't get clarification. You got a defense.
There is this thing where it's like, well, guy yelled about how it's wrong. It's over.
Thanks for letting us know that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know that didn't happen.
There's really like a philosophy and a belief and an undercurrent in society where it's like, well, we're outraged, so I will express the outrage. Good. We're all good. The outrage was expressed, and now we can put all this behind us because we agree that we're mad.
But it's like
you're mad and I'm mad, and we both agree that we're mad. Maybe we're mad for different reasons, but we can both agree that we're mad, and it was, this whole thing is a problem. And great, it's over now.
They're failing to mention that they're mad at the woman. Like, it's fucking wild. It's an absolutely disgusting video. Hey, fuck you, Wormwood. Fuck you, everybody in that video. This was handled so disgustingly and atrociously that it's like, I don't know how you could have done a worse video in response.
Yeah.
And I really expected to go there and be like, yes, all of the comments holding these people accountable and being like, this is a really repulsive response. I can't believe you let 3 men sit here and say this and decided, yeah, we should post that. But that's the thing. Those are the people who decide to post it, of course. So they think this was an okay thing to do. And we handled that well.
At Wormwood, wearing the exact same hat and the exact same glasses and the exact same hoodie, sat around and they looked at it and they nodded and they went,
good video.
It is, we are mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is something that, outrage. Yeah, we too are yelling. They're just Steve Carelling their way through a crisis like most people do. I'm also yelling. We've all yelled.
I'm tired of it.
And then all the other dudes in the comments being like, solid logical response. Because once again, dudes don't recognize outrage and defensiveness as emotions.
Yeah.
So they're just like, powerful response.
Right?
Alpha response.
They start and end the video with them being like, should we really do this? I don't know. Should we post this? Like, should we vlog this? Hey.
I guess we just can't stop keeping it real here at Wormwood. Get wrecked.
Anyways.
Get absolutely fucked.
Anyways, you didn't need to spend that much on a dice tray anyways, everyone.
Yeah, it's a tray for dice.
It's a tray for dice. We're going to do one more piece of news to bring it back up because that sucks. And this is very funny.
We're going to bring it back up.
I think this is hilarious.
In a way. Folks, it's been 3 years now.
Yes, man.
That means it's time to reboot Hellboy.
I've been saying it. We've all been saying it.
Oh my God.
Anthony, what are you doing? Stop pressing buttons.
I saw things pop up on your screen, so I was like, I'll get it off.
Just go back to the main. Hellboy.
I pushed a button. Hellboy. The third one. The fourth one. The third Hellboy, but the fourth movie. Folks, Hellboy reboot as many
Uh-huh.
as a Batman Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
But how many Hellboy movie memorable good? Probably one.
Yeah, one.
Probably one movie.
Yeah.
It's Golden Army. It's Golden Army, right? Do you like the first one or do you like Golden Army?
I'm trying to remember.
I like Golden Army.
Because I've definitely watched...
Golden Army is the one that unfortunately does not have Selma Blair.
Uh-huh.
And they go to like the underground market full of monsters and creatures and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
that's
I
a
haven't
good
watched that
Hellboy.
one in way longer, though.
Good Hellboy.
I've seen the original Hellboy much more recently. And I'm like, it's fun.
First one I think is a better character piece. Second one I think is a better just like Hellboy kind of fun romp.
Sure. Okay, so hey, then I think we can say there's two.
There's two decent ones.
Is there a brilliant Hellboy? No.
I did see David Harbour and Lily Allen, who apparently are a couple and have been a couple for years. I did not know that.
Cool. Good for them. I knew that, actually.
They
I don't know anything about David Harbour, but I love Lily Allen.
They had Architectural Digest do one of those videos where it's like, come to our house.
I saw
and show
it.
our house. And it's like very lovely. But one of the things that David Harbour has in the house is a framed picture of himself as Hellboy. And it's just like in a little frame. And Architectural Digest is like, what's this all about? He's like, gotta stay humble.
That's very funny. Okay, that's very funny.
He could have been a great Hellboy. I think he could have been a great Hellboy.
And yet,
not a great movie. So what happened was this company bought the rights to Hellboy in 2018.
Mhm.
The Hellboy movie comes out, the David Harbour Hellboy.
uh-huh. The David Hellboy, if you will.
Hellboy. Hellboy comes out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, oh. So they've been like, okay. Well, we have these rights now. It's ours from now on. What do? Let's just reboot it again, but it won't be an origin story because there's no need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they did something wild, unprecedented, unheard of, Saige. Something nobody in Hollywood ever would have thought to do. They got the creator of Hellboy to work on the Hellboy movie. Mike Mignola wrote a lot of the script and story for this one and did a lot of the production art.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be based on The Crooked Man. Have you ever read Hellboy, The Crooked Man?
I have not.
Ooh.
I've never read a Hellboy.
Hellboy, The Crooked Man is set in 1950s Appalachia.
Okay.
And the Crooked Man is the devil of this particular small town in the mountains of Appalachia. And it's Hellboy and another agent from the BPRD in the 50s going to figure out what's going on with the Crooked Man.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So it's like a good mid-century, like, I think Hellboy is at...
Hit me with that Umbrella Academy aesthetic.
Yes, but also I think Hellboy is at its best when it's dealing with the themes that it should be dealing with, which is who's a demon and is that bad?
Mm-hmm.
Who's a person?
Is
And
that bad?
Are they good? You know? And so the idea of 1950s Appalachia, where like obviously a time of pretty big change in the United States and in that area, a lot of prejudice, a lot of things like that going on, a lot of racism going on. And here comes a literal devil to come help you with the Crooked Man, who like is maybe not seen as like the horrible influence that he is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm very curious to see. Hey, why not? I'll keep showing up. I have so little like emotional attachment to Hellboy that it's like, you could keep hurting me.
I think
it's fine. If it's bad, okay.
I think for most people, Hellboy is like a cool thing that they're not very into.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're just like, I like the idea of Hellboy. Why haven't I read more Hellboy?
Yeah, and if it's bad, I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
All right, well, better luck next time, boys. Let's try again.
See you in 3 years with another dude.
I don't know. Anyways, that is all the show that we have time for. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. Hey, have you actually read Hellboy, or do you just kind of like Hellboy in theory?
Are you so into Hellboy that you've read the BPRD comics? If so, good for you.
Let us know. Hey, you can always join the Discord to keep the conversation going when we're not online, of course. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube too, we got a lot of our Twitch fam in the Discord. Why don't you come and hang out? It's free. It's literally free. You don't have to do anything. What isn't free, on the other hand, though, is doing things like donating during the show, because that money helps support us and make sure that we get to do things like pay bills and eat. You can do things like check us out on Patreon. We get a bonus clip from It's Too Early every week. There is a normal series of shows. Just something we didn't get to talk about on the show. Some extra stories, some stuff that came out during the show. Sometimes we just look at ducks. Could be anything.
Sometimes we just look at ducks.
And that keeps the 2 power bills on. That's
right. Looking at ducks generates energy. That's science. Look it up, dummies.
At patreon.com/PixelCircus. We're going to go through and we're going to thank everyone supporting us during the show. But first, Anthony, what's your fucking deal?
Oh, man, I'll tell you. I don't even know anymore.
All right.
You can find me in most places at Carboni, but I'm also on Twitch at Anthony Carboni.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
What's your fucking deal?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I'll be streaming on my channel at some point tonight. I'm trying to get back on a schedule. I'm trying. So we'll see.
I'm on that Pizza Tower schedule. Meet me on my level.
I'm on pizza time.
I'm always on pizza time.
I'm on pizza time, baby.
Baby. Ooh, a nice breakfast pizza after the show. I know you're not a fan.
I don't like a breakfast
pizza.
Crack an
egg on a pizza. I'll come from 50 miles away. That's a real thing.